Hello and welcome. Today we're looking at a new ThruNite TW10 weapons mounted light. This is a flashlight that has a mount on top here to be added to a pistol or a rifle. This one is the Black Scout survival version of this flashlight. Very cool. We'll be talking about my experience with it and just go over some of the features. So first I want to show what the light comes with. Here's the box, the packaging. It'll be noted on the outside whether it is a black version or the desert tan. All right, when you open the box, this is where the light obviously was placed, but if you lift that up, you'll find your accessories towards the bottom here. We have our charging cable, which is USB-C for faster charging. Next, you're going to find there's an accessories pouch in here. So we'll go over some of the accessories that come with this flashlight. The first thing you're going to find is two spare O-rings. All right, this is going to be in case one of the O-rings breaks, okay, or tears. You can have replacements here. There's two of them. Then you're going to find a spare cap. This is for the charging port on the back, okay, just in case you're using this and it tears or rips. There's going to be a spare one as well. Then you're going to find that there is a little piece in here that's marked 1913, as well as two spare screws and a little Allen key. What this is for is a differing mounting plate, okay, than what is actually on the light, which is marked GL. This is for Glock. All right, these are different size plates so that you can mount this on different size rails. So continuing on, you're going to find a couple cards in here. First, we have a free gift card for a free flashlight. Okay, and that's going to give you instructions as well as show social media for ThruNite. Then we're going to have a separate card here, which is going to give you your warranty information. All right, and also how to get a free keychain light. And then finally, you're going to have your instruction manual. All right, this is actually really important to look over just so you can see the function of whatever specific flashlight you're looking at. This is in multiple languages. All right, we're going to go ahead and look at the English side. All right, this is going to give you all of your breakdown as well as far as output, run times, things like that, as well as the actual instructions on how to operate. So if you'd like to pause the screen there, you can take a look at all of that. Now for the TW10, you can see the high output is 900 lumens. That is going to last 195 seconds. After 195 seconds, it's going to drop down to 427 lumens and work for 130 minutes. That's a very long run time for this particular flashlight and its battery source. All right, coming down here, you can see this is going to have a flashing light showing the indication of the power that's left. All right, so obviously if it's zero power, it's going to be off. All right, 1 to 10% left on the battery, it's going to flash red. 11 to 20%, it's going to be a constant red. And then if you have over 21% to 100% full charge, it is going to show a blue light. All right, and that's also showing the voltage underneath. So on top here, you can see some of the technical specs as far as materials and items used. So this light has one Osram P9 LED. All right, it has a TIR lens. The working voltage is between 2.75 volts and 4.2 volts. All right, the body of the light is aluminum. It's a T6061-T6, or otherwise just known as T6 aluminum. All right, you can see the surface finish, premium type 3 hard anodized. That is for durability. The dimensions, 77 millimeter by 26 millimeter by 32.5 millimeter. And the weight on this is 78 grams without the battery. For some of the American viewers out there, 78 grams is the equivalent of 2.7 ounces. Now there is an accessories list here. It's always good to double check to make sure you have everything once you receive your flashlight. So we'll do that right now real quick. There are two spare O-rings, which we did see. The battery itself is inside the flashlight, which we'll take a look at in a moment. The USB-C charging cord, which we did find. The spare USB rubber cover, which we did see. Two Allen screws. One socket head wrench, okay, or otherwise known as an Allen wrench or Allen key. We did see all of that, as well as the spare 1913 rail adapter. All right, so the only thing we didn't physically see yet is the battery. So let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. So on the front of the flashlight, where you can see the lens here, all right, you're going to see that there are some dimples all the way around. That is to help for grip. All right, we're going to unscrew the front end. This gives you access to the battery. And there it is. It was included in the flashlight. So there's a better view of that. And again, the size is an 18350, 3.7 volt. And this is a lithium ion rechargeable battery. To reinstall the battery, just go ahead and put the positive end down inside of the body of the flashlight and then screw your top on. Quick little tip, I always go the reverse, okay, when screwing something down until I feel it seat. Okay, so right there. So this way you make sure you're not going to accidentally cross thread it. Now looking at the front end here, you can see that there's a heavy texture that's in our lens. Okay, you can kind of see the yellow from that Osram LED that's behind it. But this kind of honeycomb type texture that's on the front works as a diffuser. So what that means is that when the light is on, it's going to bounce light all around those nooks and crannies and give you a nice even beam. All right, so there's no artifacts. It's very important, this being a weapon light, that you have perfect visibility, you don't have any issues with shadows or artifacts in the light beam itself. Very advantageous specifically for a weapons light. There's a ton of different weapons lights on the market. I do like the fact that this one is diffused. All right, I've seen and used other ones in the past that weren't diffused, and although they had varied performance depending on which model it was, some of them did have some kind of shadowing, or a hot spot in the middle, which might distract a little bit from using it. And obviously, if you're using this light, it's attached to some kind of a pistol or a rifle, and it's obviously very important to see what you're pointing at. So there it is, mounted onto the Gen 3 Glock 19. You can see that the head of the light does stick out past the muzzle. Didn't find this to be a huge problem. The shorter your gun is, the more of a chance that you're going to get some kind of powder residue on the top of the light. This particular gun is a mid-sized gun. If you put this on a Glock 17, the barrel would be even longer, okay? And then obviously if you put on one of the competition guns, it's gonna be even longer so that this would be in line with the barrel or even behind it. All right, it's just personal preference whether you care if it sticks out or not. As far as function, it is ambidextrous. It doesn't matter if you're right-handed or if you're left-handed. All right, there's buttons on both sides, which is very nice. Of course, handling the firearm when you're not firing, your finger's gonna be on the frame here. But when you're ready to use the light, if you want a constant on, all you have to do is press it once, all right? And the light goes on. If you want to have momentary on, you're gonna press and hold, okay? And then when you let go is when the light will go off. So if you want to just quick check something, hold on to it, don't let go, and then when you're done using light, just let go, shut off. But if you just want to have it on all the time, then you can do so, and then obviously use the gun accordingly. All right, it is very nice that it is ambidextrous. All right, in this particular case with the Glock 19, both right-handed or left-handed, I can easily access that. You can see my finger is naturally on the frame here, but when I slide it down, it is really right over the button there. Okay, I have medium to large size hands. All right, if you have a shorter hand, you might not be able to reach the button. Just depends again on the pistol and your exact hand size. But you can also use your offhand. Okay, so since I'm righty, this would be my shooting grip, and I can use my thumb here to access that light as well if my pointer finger was not able to reach it. So there's a multitude of ways you can turn this light on. Even if your hands didn't line up, it's not much to literally lift the finger to pop it on if you needed to. In this particular case, we're looking at an American Tactical M1911. This is a GI model, and I have aftermarket grip scales here that have an extension and an accessory rail. Okay, this has a wider rail than the Glock 19. Okay, so we see that it's a little narrower on the Glock on the right. So what I want to do is I want to switch our insert from the Glock one to the 1913 one. Before I do that, I just want to show you real quick that this gun is safe, completely unloaded. There is no magazine in there. All right, there is no round in the chamber at all. If you can't see that, I can physically feel there's no round. But I just wanted to ensure the gun is safe for handling, especially when I'm putting the mount on there. So there it is, mounted on a 1911 with an accessory rail. You can see that because this has a larger slide, it's a larger gun in general than that Gen 3 Glock 19, that the muzzle lines up a little bit closer to the light. It doesn't quite stick out as much. Also on this particular setup, it's a little further from that barrel as well. But when I have a full grip, again, safe finger is on the frame away from our trigger. When I switch over, I still have very simple access to that light. If I want momentary on, again, it's a long hold and then let go when you want it off, or just a quick press for constant on. Same thing with the left hand, okay? Fingers on the frame when you're not shooting, but let's say it's dark, low light situation, you want the light, just sweep your finger over, put that on, and then you're back to business and ready to go. So I really do like this setup. It looks good on both guns. I tend to prefer any kind of weapon light to be in line with the barrel or behind it. So it does stick out a little bit more on the Glock 19 being a mid-size pistol. But again, keep in mind that if you're going to put this on a larger Glock with a longer slide, that, you know, how much that sticks out is going to really depend on how big your gun is. So let's assume you use this light on the gun for a long period of time, and now you want to charge it. All you have to do is first remove it, which again is just a counterclockwise turn. I was able to get that on really tight just with the fingers where it wasn't going to wiggle, but again, I do encourage you to use some kind of tool or coin to tighten that even further, okay? After shooting the gun, it is going to vibrate and it could possibly loosen. So again, push on the button, it's going to loosen that. It pops right off the firearm. So when you're ready to charge your light, you just rotate it towards the back here. While it's on, you can see the indicator light, the indicator LED. This is still blue, so it does not need to be charged. But assuming that this is red or blinking red and it's time to charge it, all you have to do is lift this little rubber cap. So you get your fingernail in the side here. It is on there pretty tight, which is good. Doesn't want to accidentally open. But once you lift this up, it'll access that little area here. Grab your charging cable, all right, which again is USB-C. Go ahead and plug that in the back of the light and then plug this into any USB source and it will charge up. The USB-C is nice because it is faster charging. Now, as far as price, currently these are selling for $55.95. I think it is very reasonably priced, very easy to use, easy to charge, easy to get on and off with no tools. It's not really necessary. Although again, I do encourage you to use something to just lock that down once it's hand tight. But yeah, it's very, very cool weapons light. In the future, we'll go ahead and show some demos on how it works inside and out, you know, give you some beam shots, and then hopefully in the future do some shooting videos as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.